the attention that Kamilla draws with her ability to not only catch the passes that are thrown into her, but draw the defense, that gravity that you make a point of talking about, Stephen. I feel like when the Sky are right, that will free up Angel to move towards the basket and take a short pass where she is going to have more success when she gets an open layup rather than a back to the basket where she's guarded or has one or two people coming after her on a double team. And that's why it's so important that Kamilla Cardoso's finishing is improved, because defenses have to concentrate on it even more than they already are.
Correct. And anytime you can get extra attention and eyes on anybody that's not named Kennedy Carter within your offense in the half court, that's a major bonus, a major plus. Talked about how it'd be difficult for the Sky to create for advantage creation in the half court, given the lack of spacing as a template for them that they have based off of the roster they have this season. One of the big ways to do it, like you mentioned, is with Kamilla being a screener and pick and roll, especially with Kennedy Carter. But I think the other big thing with that is not just having Kennedy and Kamilla work in the empty corner for pick and roll. Like, you can get some things out of that. We saw them go to that a bit against the Aces, whether it was an angle pick and roll where Kennedy's going towards the corner, or when Kennedy's going towards the middle in a little bit more traditional sense. I think that's important, but I think the next layer for them in carving out space is for them to start using Angel and one of the other three players in addition to Angel's space to the second side to screen, to cut, to do different things, to shapeshift the defense on the second side so they can't just load up on the help line. Because, again, the point is creating space for those two players to work in advantage. And if they can't consistently get that just off of the defensive coverage being conceded, then you have to find ways to be a little bit more nuanced with your spacing. I think they can get there. We've seen them kind of work with exit screens with Marina Mabry before Rachel Banham, and then naturally Rachel being involved in a lot of those actions in terms of movement as well. You have to kind of cycle through those a little bit more consistently. I think they can have that extra layer built to their offense. It's going to take a little bit of work, but I do think that there's been a template provided, and we've seen it used a little bit. I think they can get into it a lot more. And then the other big thing I think with Kamilla, I talked about this when she got drafted. She's not the traditional big in terms of operating close to the basket and only being comfortable within 5 feet of the basket. Kamilla has a little bit of a handle. I don't think this play happened intentionally, but there was a play, I believe, in the fourth quarter where she got the ball at the elbow, and Kennedy ended up setting a screen for her to flow off of. It was almost like an inverted pick and roll, 5-1 inverted pick and roll in a sense. Again, I don't think it was intentional, but Kamilla came off of that with all intent to get her feet dirty in the paint and get up and attempt at the basket. And that's not necessarily to say that she should be running 15, 25 pick and rolls a game. I think that's something that they can kind of get into as a counterpunch. But the big thing in that, me speaking to her skill, is the fact that she can also execute dribble handoffs. And she's comfortable with her handle, especially if she's not being pressured. So I think there's some things that they can get into in terms of dribble handoffs in the empty corner with any of the wings or Kennedy Carter or any of the guards even for that matter too.
We all silly like the mayor.